How did it feel getting out on the mat in Hilton wearing an Iowa State singlet?
I mean, it was awesome. You know, I've always seen, even before I got here, I saw lots of, videos and stuff of what it's like in Hilton. I actually did get a wrestle in Hilton, not wearing the Iowa State singlet one time, but this time it was awesome. It was pretty cool.
What's the upper weights of Iowa State's room like? Obviously, you got Christian Carroll, younger Bastidas, the known quantity, but now you got Daniel Herrera up there too.
Yeah.
He's doing big things. Yourself, Aiden Riggins right below you. What's the room like at that upper weights?
Well, I think we got a lot of upper weights, right? Like you're saying, Daniel Herrera, he's incoming freshman, and he got that technical fall this past duel. He's tough. Once it's Younger's last year, so after him, I think he'll be a great heavyweight for Iowa State. Christian Carroll, new guy transfer. I scrap with him all the time. He's a super good partner for me. We train a lot. Riggins, like you said, we got some other 74-pounders. But, even our backups, I think, even other guys I wrestle in the room, they're all tough. They all push me. So I think it's pretty deep, honestly.
What's it like going against Christian Carroll?
I feel like we both have similar builds, right? I wrestled 97 for 3 years before this. This is my first year at 84, so I feel like we actually have similar styles. We both shoot a lot of high crotches and stuff, but it's fun. It's we scrap hard in the room, and I know people like to watch us wrestle, so it's fun.
Take us through your match on last Friday against Stanford. 3 takedowns in the last 45 seconds in a major. Take us through, those last 45 seconds. How much do you feed off the crowd in that scenario to choose bonus points?
Yeah, so beginning of the match, I walked out there. I might have had a little bit of nerves. It was my first time wrestling in Hilton and stuff. First time down in a new weight too. But honestly, I felt pretty good. I probably was a little overconfident. I was a little stagnant, I would say. My coaches said that. Metcalf said that too. So I started off a little slow, like you said, but like the crowd, once the third period came around and I started moving my hands, shooting a lot more, and hearing the crowd cheer for me, and it was, it's all you need to keep shooting and put on a show, right? So it was fun.
As one of the experienced veterans on this roster, I know you're new, but as on the young team, what kind of advice or what kind of stuff do you try to pass on to some of your younger teammates on the squad?
Yeah, like you said, I am one of the older guys, but I still think there's lots of guys on our team that might even be younger than me, but they got lots of experience. Sometimes I even learn from them, But there's absolutely stuff that, being in college for as long as I have, I can pass on to the other guys. Maybe mentality going to the tournament. Sometimes some of these young kids, they almost they don't freak out, but they get anxious before their matches and stuff, which is probably one thing that I've learned to just, you just got to let it go and focus on scoring points. One thing that I think about that I've talked to some people is just, all you got to think about is just scoring points and firing your shots. If you just surrender the win, you just focus on scoring points, you wrestle a lot better.
And now that you've made your Iowa State debut and worn that singlet for the first time, how do you plan on building off of that experience and just moving forward this season?
Yeah, man, how do I build off it? I want to keep, I'm super excited to wrestle. I think we have 6 or 7 home duels, so I'm just super stoked to put on a show. Every time I go out there, whether it's in Hilton or wherever else, I'm just going to be focusing on, like I just said before, I'm just trying to score points and put on a show. That's pretty much all it is. And, I've lost plenty of times in my career. I'm not really, trying to focus on the wins, losses. I'm just trying to get better at wrestling. So that's how I think about it.
How do you feel at 184 pounds? What kind of lifestyle, differences are there after 3 seasons at 197?
Yeah, so I will say, coming in this year, once Coach, he's told me, hey, I want you to go down to 84. Obviously, we had a conversation about it. It took a big commitment, right? I'm doing everything right. Like Coach says, he says, well, you just got a little extra skin in the game. So that's kind of what it is for me. I got to do extra work. I got to do extra cardio. I got to eat right. It's no easy thing for sure. It's taken a lot for me to stay down at 84, but I'm doing it right, so I actually feel really good.
What about being at Iowa State has made it easy to make, such a difficult move down?
Like in weight class?
Yeah.
I think we train hard. We train really hard. You know, I've actually been at a couple different schools, and here at Iowa State, we train really hard. But I love it, right? So all the extra workouts, all the extra running, we love to run. All the extra times on the bike after practice and stuff, that all helps me get down. Not to mention, you know, all the great partners I have and pushing me super hard in practice. So,
what's the mood like after Stanford in preparation for Navy this Friday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were pretty, we were pissed about that. You know, we were ranked. I don't even know what our team ranking was, but it was definitely an upset, right, by Stanford. But we also, we had some freshmen in the lineup that didn't wrestle as good as I know they could have. So we knew that as well. But I mean, hey, coming to this next duel with Navy, we're gonna have a lot more starters in our lineup, so we're super confident. So.
What was the hardest part in making that cut and making that drop down? Did you have to give up something that you like to eat? Did you have to run a little more? What was it?
I definitely gotta do extra cardio, a lot of running. I probably run every day, whether it's on the treadmill outside, whatever. One of the biggest things for me probably is, like Coach Dresser says, you got to work on your table pushaways, right? You got to work on pushing back to the table when it's time to call it. So that's probably one of the biggest things for me because I love to eat. So and lift too. I don't lift near as much as I used to. So
is that kind of a bummer with Thanksgiving coming up?
Yeah, I'm gonna be super bummed out. But just if I keep even on my break, if I keep getting my workouts in, I might be able to splurge a little bit. So.